this Brian Stelter guy, you know my feelings on this, guys. 50-50 whether we have to talk about these people anymore or not. It's totally 50-50. I've discussed it with many people. Do we just start ignoring these ridiculous clowns who all the way, by the way, I know that they watch this show. Like, I know that plenty of producers at CNN and a bunch of the other channels watch this show because I'm not stupid and I have insiders at a lot of these people and a lot of these places. And a lot of the people that work for you guys don't like you guys because you're all frauds and liars. Well, Brian Stelter, he's got this show, Reliable Sources. It should be Unreliable Sources. You know all that stuff. And all he does all day long is basically watch Fox News to try to figure out a way to take down Fox News. That's what cable news has reduced itself to. So here's a video of Brian Stelter yesterday, ironically accusing Hannity, Fox, and the right-wing scary people of conspiracies and inflammatory language. Take a look.
To understand why so many Republicans have abandoned democracy, to see why so many believe the big lie, to get why so many are trying to rewrite voting rules, you have to hear the poisonous propaganda that the GOP's activist base is listening to. You have to really hear it. It's coming more from Sean Hannity than from Trump right now. So that's what we did this week. We watched every episode of Sean Hannity's show and we color-coded it. As you can see, we focused on his language, the insults and phrases that he repeats every night. Biden's a weak, frail, cognitive mess, Hannity says, yet the Democratic Party is portrayed as an existential threat. Hannity calls it the New Green Deal Socialist Party, and he labels some Dems extremists. He calls American cities hellholes. Sometimes he calls them Democratic-run hellholes. And he says the media is a mob full of, quote, stalkers. Don't get numb to this abusive language. Because it is through these insults, it is through these attacks that Hannity wields power. This dark, dire language is fundamentally authoritarian. Hannity is spouting poison.
I literally just cracked up throughout that, even though I've seen it like 10 times this morning. First off, pretty much everything Hannity said is right. They are Democratic hellholes, right? They are. Everything. He says the Republicans, the base, they're trying to rewrite the voting rules. Well, of course, Stelter never explains to you what it is that these GOP bills are trying to do. Like, have people use IDs to vote, as I talked about last week. I went mini golfing, and to actually get the small golf club, I had to show an ID, and they actually held it for us. These are not crazy things, but I love that Stelter had his people watch all of the show, and they had color coding. People are watching this and they are being like, that's the reverse of the truth. That man's job is to reverse the truth. So I guess it does make sense that his show, Reliable Sources, is named backwards and it should be Unreliable Sources. Like, it's just absolutely extraordinary. And also the way he's seeding it, that it's somehow those right-wingers who don't believe our nonsense that are being violent, and Hannity's using inflammatory language to rile people up. And it's like, no, man, it's your base burning down cities. It's your base looting and destroying windows. And yes, they are in Democratic hellholes. It's not happening in Republican cities. So the question is, as always, and as I said, I'm 50-50 on this, and I would love more feedback. So maybe this will be the discussion of the day in the locals community, is do we have to keep talking about those people to expose them? Like that man and Acosta, and that ridiculous LARPing lunatic, Chris Cuomo, and everyone at CNN. They are actors pretending to be journalists. That's what they are. I'm not a journalist. I'm a guy who sits here. I tell you what I think. You can call me what you want, but I don't pretend I'm anything other than what I am, okay? I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. There you go, guys, okay? We're gonna have a little spinach after the show today. But the point is, these people, they are lying to all of these people, and then you wonder why people are insane. You wonder why Karens are screaming at people, and people are angry and fighting with people and wearing masks until they're 90 and dead, and it's just like, get control of your life. That's my message. Dave Rubin at 45. Get control of your life. Find happiness, find friends, find good people, eat good food, do what you like doing, and don't listen to Brian Stelter. How much more do you need, people?